Welcome to Betrayal Affairs. In today's video, I want you to listen closely to a story that I never thought I would share publicly. It's raw, it's messy, and it's one of those stories that leaves you questioning love, loyalty, and the fine lines between comfort and betrayal. If this is your first time here, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss our daily uploads. And to our returning listeners, I can't thank you enough for always being here. You are the heartbeat of this channel, and your support means everything. Now, let's get into the story. My name is Patricia. I'm 24 years old, and I can honestly say my life has been marked by heartbreak after heartbreak. I didn't grow up dreaming of drama or secrets. I wanted something simple: love, stability, a family of my own. But after the last few years, I don't even recognize the girl I used to be. And after what happened with him, the man I should never have let myself fall for, I don't know if I'll ever look at love the same way again. It all started after my mom passed away 8 months ago. Cancer. A word I hate with every fiber of my being. One day she was vibrant, laughing in the kitchen, making her famous stew while humming to old songs, and the next, she was frail, fading, slipping away in a hospital bed. I was there when she took her last breath. I was holding her hand, but so was someone else. Not my dad, because he was never in the picture. My parents had separated when I was just a baby. No, the man at her side was someone else entirely. His name was Daniel. Daniel wasn't just any man. He had been my mother's close friend for years, long before she even met my father. Some people whispered that he had once been her first love. She never admitted it to me directly, but I always sensed it. There was something in the way she spoke about him, the way her eyes softened whenever he came around, the way his presence calmed her like nothing else could. He wasn't her husband, not anymore, not ever, but he was her constant. The kind of person who shows up no matter what, the kind of man who stays even when it hurts. After the funeral, the house felt like a tomb. Empty. Silent. Too clean, too untouched, like a place frozen in time. Friends and family stopped visiting after the first couple of weeks, and I was left with nothing but loneliness pressing against my chest like a weight I couldn't carry. That's when Daniel started coming around more often. He said it was to check on me, to make sure I was eating, to help around the house. At first, I thought nothing of it. I welcomed the company. But I had no idea what that bond of grief would eventually turn into. Daniel was older than me by 2 decades, in his mid-40s, with a presence that was both commanding and gentle. He had been there for my mother through everything. And now, somehow, he was there for me. He'd bring groceries, cook meals when I couldn't bring myself to, sit with me through the long nights when sleep wouldn't come. Sometimes we'd just watch television in silence. Other times, we'd talk about my mom, her laugh, her quirks, the way she used to sing badly on purpose just to make us laugh. Those conversations hurt, but they also healed. He understood my grief in a way no one else did. And maybe that's where the danger started. You see, grief is complicated. It messes with your heart and your head. It makes you vulnerable in ways you don't expect. And in those quiet hours, when the world felt unbearably empty, Daniel wasn't just my mom's friend anymore. He was a man who looked at me with understanding. He was a man who held me when I cried. He was a man who made me feel seen when I felt invisible. It wasn't supposed to happen. I swear it wasn't. The first time I noticed the shift was one evening when he came over with takeout. I hadn't showered in 2 days. My hair was a mess, my eyes swollen from crying. Yet when I opened the door, he smiled at me like I was beautiful, like nothing about me was broken. "You look just like her," he said softly, and I knew he meant my mom. But there was something in his voice, in his eyes, that made my heart pound in a way it shouldn't have. I brushed it off. Told myself it was just the grief playing tricks on me. But the truth was, I had already started seeing him differently. It happened gradually. The way his hand would rest on my shoulder a little longer than necessary. The way his laughter filled the empty house. The way he carried himself with this quiet strength, even when I could see the cracks in his armor. He was hurting too, I wasn't the only one who had lost her. And maybe that's what drew us together. Two broken people, clinging to each other like lifelines. One night, I found him sitting in the living room with a glass of whiskey, staring at an old photo of him and my mom when they were younger. His face was softer, unguarded. "She was everything to me," he whispered, his voice breaking in a way I had never heard before. Without thinking, I sat beside him and took his hand. It wasn't planned, it wasn't calculated. It was just instinct. His fingers tightened around mine, and in that moment, I realized how dangerous this connection had become. I told myself it was innocent. Just comfort. Just grief. Nothing more. But then came the night everything changed. It was a rainy Saturday, the kind where the sky feels too heavy and the world feels too small. I had been in the shower, trying to wash away the heaviness, but nothing worked. I came downstairs in one of my mom's old oversized shirts, the kind that still smelled faintly of her perfume, and found him sitting on the couch. The television was on, but he wasn't watching. He was just staring into space, lost. When he saw me, his eyes lingered, and something unspoken passed between us. I should have walked away. I should have gone upstairs. But instead, I sat beside him. The silence was thick, but not uncomfortable. His hand brushed mine, accidental, I thought. But he didn't move it away, and neither did I. Slowly, his fingers intertwined with mine. My heart pounded so loudly I thought he could hear it. Finally, he turned to me, his eyes full of pain and something else I didn't want to name. "Patricia," he whispered, almost as if asking permission. And then it happened. He leaned in, and I didn't stop him. His lips touched mine, soft at first, hesitant, like he was giving me every chance to pull away. But I didn't. I kissed him back. It was wrong. It was forbidden. But in that moment, it felt like the most honest thing in the world. We pulled away, both breathing heavily, both stunned by what had just happened. I should have left. I should have said something. But instead, I stayed. That night, I didn't sleep in my own bed. I curled up beside him, and for the first time in months, I didn't feel alone. And that was just the beginning. What followed was a whirlwind of confusion and secrecy. We never talked about what we were doing, not at first. We just kept finding ourselves drawn together, in the kitchen while cooking, on the back porch watching the sunset, in the silence of the living room where grief had once drowned us. Every touch was both a comfort and a sin. Every kiss carried the weight of what we had lost and the danger of what we were becoming. I kept telling myself it was just grief, that once the pain eased, so would the feelings. But deep down, I knew it wasn't that simple. Daniel wasn't just filling a void. He was someone who saw me, someone who understood me, someone who had always been there in the shadows of my life, and now, somehow, he was at the center of it. The guilt was unbearable. Every time I looked at my mom's picture, I felt like I was betraying her. This was the man she had once loved, the man who had held her hand through her last breath. And now, here I was, tangled up in emotions I couldn't control. I hated myself for it, and yet, I couldn't stop. One night, after weeks of dancing around the truth, I finally asked him, "What are we doing?" He looked at me, his expression tortured. "I don't know," he admitted. "All I know is, when I'm with you, the pain feels less. And I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose you." His words shattered me because I felt the same way. But where did that leave us? Were we healing each other, or destroying each other even more? Now, I'm here, telling you this story because I don't know what else to do. I don't know if what we shared was love, or just two broken hearts colliding in the aftermath of grief. I don't know if I should cut him off, or if it's possible to turn this into something real. All I know is, nothing will ever be the same again. So I'm asking you, the listeners, if you were me, what would you do? Would you walk away from the only person who makes the grief bearable, even if it feels wrong? Or would you hold on, even if it means living with the guilt forever? Tell me in the comments. Be honest. I need to know.